you want to step into this world of DC heroes?
I needed a job. I'm being so serious. I mean, a lot of people keep asking me. The reality was we were in the middle of a pandemic and I was not working and I couldn't get a job for the life of me because West Side Story hadn't come out yet. And it was really hard to book work for me.
You think there's such a thing as reasonable conversation. That's not on the table for the radicals.
Cry me a river. She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
Leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Am I a psychopath?
But why do you have to mess with a classic, especially with someone who doesn't even seem to like her own character?
Disney fans are offended by Rachel Zegler's comments.
Rachel Zegler, she's an
She has been sabotaging this film for years at this point.
She was also just a spoiled, entitled, narcissistic brat.
It is performative bull by Disney.
Cynthia Rivers. She might be paying the biggest price for this Snow White debacle. She's now unemployed because you know they were going to hire her for this. This is Rapunzel.
The modern empowered Snow White won't even allow domestic labor.
We can't have a woman holding a broom. Not that Rachel Zegler would know what to do with a broom other than fly on it.
Disney just hit the panic button and Piers Morgan is not holding back. After the catastrophic flop of Snow White, Disney has now quietly canceled its live-action Tangled Remake, and Piers is calling it exactly what it is, a woke disaster in motion that crashed before it even launched. Let's rewind. Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, was supposed to be Disney's next billion-dollar hit, but instead, it turned into a $300 million faceplant. Why? According to Morgan, because Disney lost the plot, literally.
Rachel Zegler, who stars as Snow White, condemned Prince Charming as weird and a stalker, adding that she hates the original. Nice start.
Zegler didn't just play Snow White, she ridiculed the entire fairy tale. She called Prince Charming weird, mocked the love story, and said the original was creepy. Oh, and she added that she deserved to be paid for every hour the film is streamed online. Yeah, that went down well. Piers Morgan wasn't buying the act. On air, he tore into the narrative, saying Zegler represents everything fans can't stand. Entitled, performative, and proudly ignorant of the role she's playing. But it gets worse.
It was $270 million by the end of 2023. Doesn't count reshoots, doesn't count a lot of post-production work, so yeah, the budget's well over $300 million. We know that, which is why Disney's likely to lose over $300 million.
After Snow White flopped, Disney quietly pulled the plug on Tangled. Before fans could tear it apart, too, the remake had big names, like The Greatest Showman's Michael Gracie and Thor, Love and Thunder's Jennifer Caton Robinson. Cynthia Erivo was rumored to play Rapunzel, but after the Snow White chaos, Disney nuked the whole thing.
This chick was already hired to be the blonde girl whose hair was used to get rescued.
Now it seems that a ton of female-led films could be screwed over because Snow White flopped, which is so funny to me because they really were banking on Rachel Zegler's movie to be a hit. They needed it to make $1 billion and it is not even going to come close.
And Piers, he saw it coming. He blasted Disney for bastardizing beloved classics in the name of fake progress, warning that fans were tired of fairy tales being turned into woke lectures.
You don't need to do this stuff. If you just brought out a movie with Snow White and dwarf actors, everyone would have gone, great, that's the movie we want to see.
It wouldn't have been a problem.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Leave it the alone.
He didn't stop there. Morgan ripped into Disney's obsession with diversity over storytelling.
The moment Prince Charming moves in for the kiss while she's asleep, he gets arrested.
Yeah, exactly. Immediately.
The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be a bomb. I can guarantee it.
I'm really upset that the biggest theme here is that it's anti-men. She called him a stalker.
Woke is a poison apple and Disney have had a big bite of it.
Pointing out that audiences didn't reject Snow White because of inclusion. They rejected it because it was rewritten beyond recognition. The dwarves? Gone.
Leaked photos from a set revealed that the 7 dwarves had been sensationally axed, replaced by multiracial, gender non-specific, magical humans, after Peter Dinklage said it was backwards to cast real dwarves as dwarves, even though he's made a whole career out of being a real dwarf who's played dwarves in movies.
Replaced with magical, gender-neutral forest creatures. The prince? Deleted. The love story? Mocked. The magic? Lost.
Please stop changing all of the historic plots, which actually have meaning, to instead become generic woke story about how woman leads revolutionary uprising and she don't need no man.
How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No.
According to Piers, the result is obvious. Disney's no longer telling stories, it's preaching messages.
I felt that it was time, whether you call it diversity or inclusion, but the bottom line is that doing so is good for commerce.
And fans aren't paying for that, not with their wallets, and definitely not with their nostalgia. He called it the ultimate irony. The studio that once gave us Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and Aladdin, now stumbling through project after project, completely out of touch with its audience.
Well, audiences have responded in their droves. In fact, the trailer has broken records. More than 1 million people have disliked it on YouTube.
We're seeing these female-led projects be completely reconsidered. I mean, it could point to necessary retooling given the current socio-political landscape looking nothing like Disney had likely projected.
And now, with Tangled gone and Lilo and Stitch and Moana live-action remakes on the horizon, all eyes are on Disney. Because if those films flop too, Piers says the writing's on the wall. Go woke, go broke isn't just a meme anymore. It's Disney's new reality.
But all of a sudden, after the backlash to Snow White, after it bombs at the box office, yeah, we're going to put that on the back burner. We're going to stop doing that. We're going to put a pause on this project. A lot of people are guessing why. Maybe because just like they did for Little Mermaid and Snow White, they decided to bastardize these adaptations and maybe push a little DEI while they were at it.
So what happens next? Will Disney keep pushing these reimagined stories that nobody asked for? Or will they finally listen to the people who made them a global giant in the first place? Because at this rate, as Piers Morgan puts it, the only fairy tale Disney's telling now is that any of this is working.